everyone, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Legacy Survival. Today, as you can see, we're here on Minecraft version 1.2.5, and I apologize for the long wait between episodes here. I have been sick for far too long, so I haven't been in a place to record, but now I can. So let's jump right in, and as you can see, our world needs to be converted to the anvil format. So this might take a little while, which means I'm just going to cut it out. And once we're in the world, I will show off what's different. So we are loaded in, and what does the anvil format change for the world format? Well, among other things, the main change that you would notice in survival mode is the fact that the world height limit was previously 128, it is now 256, so that's doubled, which was very big at the time. I remember this change, and I remember being very excited about it. So let's build up to the height limit just to show that off. Past Octo here to illustrate the height max difference. As you can see, I'm in 1.1 here, and the max height is 128. Can't place any blocks higher than that. And as you can see here, at Y level 256, we can go no higher. So let me just put these over here just to show off for sure. Y level 256. And everything sure looks small from down here. I'm going to very carefully disassemble this massive dirt pillar I've made for myself to show this off. Now that we're safely back on the ground, we can start work going back to the house to start work on some of the crafting recipes. And as I can see, my door is broken here. I think this means I can actually do a proper double door with pressure plates here. Yep, they finally fixed that after all that time. That was a nice change as well. Remember that. So first things first, I need to grab myself some saplings. If you look closely, you can tell that the texture for oak saplings has changed a bit in this version as well. So let me put away some of my stuff here, take out some other stuff. Gonna need gunpowder. I am going to need sand. And I'm gonna need redstone and glowstone. That should do. And I also need bone meal. And I need to sleep through the night because I need to grow these trees real quick. So let's get out there and grow those trees. Now we can start the crafting. Probably should go over to my mine and make sure I don't need to fix my double door, which I probably need to do. And one other thing to note while I'm holding these logs here, if we place them down, let me see, was that changed in this version? I thought that was in this version. I could be wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Well, that's fine. We'll get to it soon. But I still need to harvest some trees. So let's do that real quick. And you can just let those break down. After all, I have plenty of saplings in reserve. So let's get into the house here and start crafting. So first things first, we have, you might have guessed by me gathering some different types of wood, we now have different types of wood planks available to us, which is really nice. A lot more decoration opportunities with that. Along with that, a change to slabs. As you can see, oak slabs or wood slabs are still only one color. They're only oak, but you get 6 now instead of 3 as you would get previously, so it's doubly efficient, which is really nice. Now I need to craft some sandstone here. And I think I need a few. Hopefully I get the recipes right on my first try. I've been known to mess stuff like this up. Let's see. So we have our cut sandstone here, which I always really liked as a building block. I think it looks really nice with the smooth edges. And if I make some sandstone slabs, we also have chiseled sandstone available, so they look exactly the same as they do now. 2 more decoration blocks, always nice to have. Next thing we can craft here, if I remember how to craft it, which I probably don't. Again, I've been known to forget these things. Yeah, I thought I messed that up. I always thought it was crafted. I always make this mistake. I always think it's crafted with glowstone dust, but it's crafted with a glowstone block. It is the redstone lamp, which works exactly as you would expect it to. If I make a redstone torch real quick. There we go. That's nice. We got toggleable light. That was a pretty big change. I mean, you could do some witchcraft with pistons before, but this is a heck of a lot easier. And finally, if I head down to my basement, because there is one thing I need from down here. Grab myself some blaze powder. We can now make fire charges, so single use, and as you may or may not know, they can be shot out of a dispenser, which the texture has changed for those, by the way. So hopefully not going to damage anything here by doing this. Oops. And there we go. So let's get rid of this before we cause ourselves any grief. You might have also noticed that I have some iron blocks and a pumpkin in my inventory, because in this version, iron golems were introduced. So this guy can, I guess, protect our little homestead, or he can wander off into the forest, whatever he pleases. He's a free entity. Go, iron golem, be free. And one other small change to crafting: ladders now craft 3 per recipe instead of 2. So better efficiency there. Pretty nice change. And before we move on, I guess I can address the elephant in the room here. I've made this long minecart track. Between episodes, I was getting a little bored with having nothing to do, so I decided that we are going to get the achievement on a rail, which I said I wasn't going to do because it was a pain, but like I said, I had a bit of time on my hands, and I wanted to play on this world a bit even though I couldn't record, so here we go. I'm not going to show the whole ride. I'm just going to cut to the end when I get the achievement. And you know what, since we're here and going through the forest, I guess I'll address this here. As you can see, a lot of the leaves now look a little bit different. So you might remember that the data value of the leaves was kind of randomized when different leaf types were added. There was an unused data value, which is now in use for jungle trees. Jungle trees were introduced in this update, but I'm actually not going to be exploring the jungle because there's something in 1.3 that was added to it that would make exploration a little redundant, and I kind of want to avoid that if it's just one version different. Anyways, I'm going to actually cut to the end of the ride now. We should be coming up on it in just a minute. By the time we get to the end of the line, I think we'll get it. There we go. Achievement get on a rail. That is another achievement done, which means we have just one more achievement remaining, which I promise we'll get eventually. It is Overkill, which is to deal a large amount of damage at once. So that might be one of the first times I've also ever gotten on a rail, because it's more of a tedium achievement than anything. There's not usually much of a reason to get it due to nether transport. Anyways, back in a minute. And thanks to a small change in the debug menu that you might have noticed, there below our coordinates, we can see a couple extra bits of information, including lighting information, and also biome, which is pretty nice because we can finally see what biomes are in this area officially. So that's kind of fun. As I'm walking through the nether here to my next destination, if you listen closely over the sounds of the pigmen, you can hear that some sounds are added to lava in this version. The popping and also more quiet, passive bubbling. So I'm paying another visit to my villagers now. There are a couple changes made to them in this update. Let's see if we can find a few. Ah, here we are. I don't know if we'll get to see any of these changes in action because our villages remain pretty safe here. But if, say for instance, some of these villagers suffered an unfortunate set of circumstances and there were not as many in this village, the villagers would now breed to repopulate the village. They don't need to throw food to each other or anything. They don't need beds in the houses. They just need valid houses and they'll spawn some baby villagers. Another thing that can happen is that iron golems can now spawn in a village, although it doesn't appear that they want to spawn here. I need to wait for night to fall to show another change, so when it's nighttime, I'll come on back. So night has fallen, and the villagers are probably trying to make their way back into a house. I think they're a little bit confused here because this door is blocked. Let's see if I unblock that. I might be able to get in there. But if we lure a zombie over here, and give him a minute, we will see that he will now start to go after the villagers and try and get them. In addition, he can break down doors to get to them, but that's only on hard mode, and I have my difficulty set to normal. But if I come in here and close the door, he should knock on it. There he goes. Right on cue. Oh, actually, he's not even trying to get me, he's trying to get the villagers. So as you can see, they target the villagers now. In addition, zombie sieges were added, which is a rare event in which a whole bunch of zombies just spawn around the village and try to kill all the villagers. Only happens sometimes at night. If I can kill these skeletons, maybe I can get something to happen here. I don't think it will, though. I guess I'll just mention it. Rare drops were also introduced in this update. The pools aren't quite the same as they are now, but they're pretty similar. Skeletons can drop bows, zombies can drop iron ingots, iron swords, and iron helmets, I believe, or maybe it was a shovel. And zombie pigmen can drop gold ingots, gold swords, and gold helmets. One last thing here. In previous updates, you might have noticed that creepers would strafe to the left as they started to explode. Now they just sit still, so they're a little bit easier to hit. Ah, and there we go, we got a bow. Pretty nice. One more thing before I sign off here. Dogs now, when you use a pork chop, hey, come back here. Unbelievable. Where did it go? Come on. I'm trying to make a production here, dog. Come on. There we go. Now then, where was I? Yes, dogs. If you use a pork chop on them when they're at full health, or not necessarily even a pork chop, just any food item, when they're at full health, you can breed them now. So that is that. Like I said, there's jungles were also added in this update, and a little bit of exploration, but the exploration added in 1.2 is kind of tied in with the same areas as 1.3. So I don't really want to generate new areas in this version when I'm going to be generating the exact kind of new areas, like in just one version. So yeah, that's that. Wrapping up the episode here. I will see you all next time.